So what we're doing is we're programming a small PC. This small PC actually already comes with all of the programs from the supplier. So what we do need to do is upgrade the software. This is running 35. What we're going to do is put 35.2.8 on here. And then we also need to upload a file into the VPN Access Manager. So first of all, we can go ahead and close the program so we can upgrade it to the latest one. So click OK on the warning screen, go to Settings, System, Stop. You do have to wait till it says try 28 down here at the bottom, otherwise it won't let you navigate. When you hit stop, it should close that program. So now we're going to go into the Windows Explorer. In the local C, we're looking at the Firefly folder that we're going to update. Now there's two versions of the Firefly folder that we're going to put on there. One of them is going to be for the version 50, just in case the computer ever needs to be upgraded to the version 50. So first of all, we're going to take our programming flash drive and we're going to put it on the back of the PC. Any of the USB open ports you can connect to. In here, you're going to have the VPN files that we're going to be installing on the VPN Access Manager on this computer. And then as well, we need to look for the 35.2.8 folder, which we are also going to install. So first, you can run the bat, which, the batch will basically install all the programming, or just copy the folder over and do it manually. What we're going to do is, from the flash drive, we're just going to go ahead and install. Press the enter key after. And that should already install the new program in here. I'm just going to go in and double check to make sure that it's in here. If it's not in here, then I can make sure that that file gets put on here. So 35.2.8.5a is the one we're looking for. Now that we're in here, again, I just want to double check to make sure everything is in here. There's a README file if you ever needed to double check what's the update about. And you do have the controller image and the configuration files as well. Now, outside of the 35.2.8 software version, we're also going to make sure that we download the other folder on here, which is the one for the version 50. So I'm just going to go back and bring up my USB drive, File Explorer here. Okay, so we're going to transfer the version 50 software into the local C disk. First of all, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to label it version 50, V50 Firefly. So once I'm in that folder, I'm just going to copy and paste right over. So version 50, copy and paste. We don't want to drag and drop. We never want to drag and drop. You don't want to delete anything from the actual flash drive. So make sure you copy and paste. Just to be safe, I'm also going to do the version 62 and 63. This is more for the version 19 machines, but if you ever needed it, it's going to be available on this computer as well. There's plenty of 155Es with version 19. This machine doesn't need it, but it could potentially need it in the future if it's ever upgraded. So now we have a version 50 folder. We also need to add the RAD 20 so that we can actually run this ProSlab version of software. So going back over here, we're going to go to software, RAD 20 installer. All right, so now that the RAD 20 folder's on there, that's all we're going to need for the version 50. If you ever needed to update to even the latest version of software, they will all run on version 20 of the RAD installer. So VPN Access Manager, I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger so we can see it. And we go to File and then Import. In the import, we're going to go into our flash drive and look for one of the VPN files. We only have a number of files available. So this HMI number will allow us to remote into any machine that's out there in the field. This HMI numbers are used per machines that do have a PC on them. And the only way we can remote from the factory is by having one of these files installed on that particular machine. It allows people at Firefly to remote into this machine only by having a good HMI working number. So for this one, we're going to use 212, so right at the very top here, and hit open. Now that's installed on this particular computer, on this particular PC. If you ever need to remote into this computer, this is the HMI file that it's going to use to VPN connect into this particular machine. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and hit close here. And that's going to be it for this particular programming of this PC. Alright, so now we are going to also install FileZilla on this computer. In your flash drive, you're going to go into FileZilla and just copy that folder over to your computer. So again, copy. And this is actually a program that runs in the background as well, so we can put it in your resources folder. So open up File Explorer, local C, which is the computer itself, Firefly, resources, applications, and this is going to be one of the applications here, so we're going to go ahead and paste that in here. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to actually install it from the local C disk, so FileZilla, and then run the executable, and just click OK to accept the licenses, and you should be able to run the program now if you ever need to download any of the files from the controller into the actual PC. This way you can actually download the whole FF Maxwell folder instead of downloading one file at a time using the web configuration. Alright, so now that that's done, go ahead and close all the screens. Want to create a backup folder of the FF Maxwell, so we're going to go back into the local C disk, FF Maxwell, right click and copy, and what we're doing is creating a backup folder in resources. So we're going to go into Firefly, resources, and right click and create a new folder, and we're just going to label it FF Maxwell Backup, and go ahead and paste that in here, and you've already created a backup of your FF Maxwell. And be sure to add the date to any backup files that you create, so we know exactly what date to go back to, or what is the latest date we can get into to replace. You can always create a backup anytime you visit the machine, so putting the date on there can be helpful. Go ahead and close out of this, reboot your computer. After it comes back up, everything should connect properly to the controller.